What's poppin', peeps and queeps? The boys is back in town. Last time I seen y'all niggas, I think I was living in my car, recording out of my car. So, that shit's over. Shit, I got hit with a probation violation. Ain't even catch no new charge. But my PO wanted me to clear those bats out the cave. If you catch my drift, and I wasn't going. So, yeah, I had to do like a month ish in jail in Arizona, and then, I got switched back to the state I caught my charge at, which was actually 2 fucking years ago. They put me in a halfway house. Look, long story short, I'm back. I'm happy. Look at that. That's a stick and poke. I got that shit in jail. I want to die. Edge Lord. But yeah, bro, I've been watching Power. I just wasn't having access to my laptop. But I'm black now. Oh, holy shit. And my girl here, I got a baby on the way. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. So y'all let me know in the comment section. You think I'm gonna have a boy or a girl? I want a son, but we gonna see what happens. But anyway, we here talking about Power Book 2, Season 3, Episode 7. And Jesus Christ, this shit was crazy. Hey, shout out Movie Bot too. I think that nigga's like Jamaican or something. But anyway, let's check this shit out.
Would an arrest warrant suffice, Mrs. Tejada?
Diana Tejada, stand up. You are under arrest for possession of an illegal narcotic with intent to distribute.
Not everything is as it seems on the surface. Hidden between the lines when it comes to deal in the streets are consequences. Favors.
I'm telling you now, that shit caught me off guard at the end. I thought they was coming in there to snatch Monet up. She killed fucking Mecca. You know what I mean? She fucking killed that nigga fucking international guap. You know what I'm saying? She had that nigga Lorenzo. That nigga went out like that nigga in Friday the 13th. Like it was all kind of brazy. I'm saying, bro, didn't she kill somebody else too? I swear, I don't know. But oh yeah, my nigga Detective Kevin Whitman. Bro, like I said, you need one of them long distance calling cars to reach that nigga in heaven.
Favors for a favor, or people making deals behind your back. But are men in suits any better than those who deal drugs in the streets? When you're making deals with men in suits on pieces of paper rather than a gun, there's always a small print. The terms and conditions that none of us read, but that's where they get us. At least in the street life, you know what the terms and conditions are. It's pretty much do or die with a gun in your face. In Deal or No Deal, on the surface, Lucas and Western Holdings isn't what it is. It's a giant Ponzi scheme. And just like RSJ once said, everyone has two faces. But isn't that the world we live in? Financial institutes to businesses we invest our money.
Hey, also, real quick, can I just say, that nigga Celine, that nigga is a hack, okay? That nigga is an untalented hack. Yo, if Celine make it through the fucking season, I'll be shook, bro. I'll be spooked. Celine's days gotta be numbered.
Our money in. Who's in control? So one thing Tariq doesn't have control over now is his trust fund. He gave that to Western Holdings, and shit is about to get real if he loses everything his father worked so hard for. Western Holdings is also a place which holds it to hard as legit money, and sooner or later, Braden is gonna have a choice to make.
Also, real quick, let me know in the comment section, do y'all think Tariq will be able to take down Weston Holdings? Because, actually, a long time ago, I made a video talking about, Tariq taking down the Westons. I didn't, per se, know that this would be what was going on, but I get the feeling that Weston Holdings is probably going out like fucking Kmart.
Deal or No Deal is also about control, power, information, and leverage. I also once said that information is power, and holding information in Ghost is like holding a smoking gun. And that's where we are in episode 7. Information is key, from Diana busting Salik fake Freeman to Monet taking out 2-in-1. Law enforcement are also connecting the dots from all three supplies from Stansfield, the Jamaican.
And I guess that's like Angela Valdez's nephew, which I guess, but what was crazy is fucking this episode to me, Drew pulled up on Gordo. Gordo was in the shower, nigga was looking like a fucking Old Spice commercial. Bro, Drew just right there in the heart. I was like, Jesus Christ, yo, Drew is a fucking maniac. Ever since Lorenzo's death, this nigga kind of been thinking a little bit he been a little bit erratic, but holy shit, bro. It's just insane how Monet manipulated that whole situation. And like I said, bro, a Gordo pack?
The Jamaica Ave Boys and Wall Street, but will they get what they want from Diana? Now, this episode kicked off with the Russians attacking the Tejada Street operation. They wipe out the Jamaica Ave Boys and they weren't hiding. They sent a message directly to Kane, telling him he's gonna lose this war. They're at war with the Russians because of one man, Gordo. In my breakdown for episode 6, I said Gordo was the one who fed the information that it was the Russians, which may have raised some questions, but it made sense from Drew's
Real quick, one other thing. I can't smoke weed right now because I gotta finish up this probation. So, we vaping. Boo.
reaction to Gordo trying to make sure the heat wasn't on himself. Now, Monet wanted Gordo to back off Drew, but Gordo declines. Instead, he told Monet how it was going to work, and so it was never going to end well for Gordo. But the way in which Monet was able to create this master plan of not just killing Kai, settling the beef with the Russians, but also having Gordo taken off the chessboard, it was smart, strategic, but also evil in a way she was manipulating her kids. With the attack from the Russians, that meant the product needed to come off the streets, and Kane was handling shit, but Tariq was still pissed about everybody's betrayal. So when Braden and Kane were kicked out of the room, Monet told Tariq exactly what he needed to hear.
You should be thanking whoever took her ass out.
I swear, bro, I ain't fucking recorded in months and shit. Like I said, I'm staying at a fucking Holiday Inn and whatnot as my temporary residence. I paid a month for this bitch. But yo, real talk, some nigga just came to the door talking about, is Woo here? Like, nigga, what? Who the fuck is Woo?
Ass out.
Unfortunately, Tariq was doing the complete opposite of thanking Effie, but we're gonna get to that later on. They had problems with the Russians, and Tariq's plan was to find out from the Castillos about when the next Russian drug shipment would come in, so Tariq could handle it from his connections. So information, power, and someone with a lot of influence was about to come into play. Now, their plan was to take the Russians off the streets, but it would only work if the Castillos played ball, which some of them were against, and it took Gordo convincing them to play ball. Now, Tariq also played his part by feeding the information to Rashad Tate about the Russian drug shipment, and even though Tate hesitated at first because he knows how Tariq St. Patrick works and how he's hot with law enforcement, he needed to get his campaign numbers back up, and this was a win-win situation for both. Rashad Tate would get the credit for the bust, and Tariq gets the Russians off the streets, which would stop them from taking over their turf. But Monet also had other ideas, and
Hey, can we also just talk about, these Russians is sorry, alright? Like, compared to the niggas that we seen in the original Power, that nigga Vladimir, that nigga fucking chainsaw the nigga's face off. Like, these Russians out there, they showed up to Lorenzo's funeral, they got the fucking snipers, the scopes and all that shit. Man, these niggas ain't hit nothing, bro. The only thing I seen that even took a bullet was Lorenzo's casket. I'm like, yo, that nigga's a pack already. He's in heaven. Well, let's not get carried away. I don't know if he's in heaven, but Lorenzo is no longer among us. Did y'all see that little obituary thing for Lorenzo? That shit was a trip.
And Lorenzo definitely warned us about how she never shows her hand.
Your mother never shows her hand, Kane. You of all people should know that.
So this pretty much sums up the chess moves Monet put.
Man, I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but I'm happy as hell to be back. But seeing that nigga Lorenzo right there, I mean, yo, it felt like somebody whipped out a Ouija board and shit. I mean, goddamn, like talking to the dead.
In play when Gordo refused the direct orders at the beginning, but it all started by moving the pawn off the first square with Kai. She wanted Kai's help with the Russians, a mutual enemy, but even though both of their lives would have been easier if they were put
That nigga Kai looked like a black Charlie Brown, just saying.
down, Kai just didn't have the bodies at this moment in time. They were all roped up. Now, I think we should all know Monet by now. She'll use by any means necessary to get what she wants. She understands, as a woman playing in a man's world, she needs to level the playing field. And the only way to do that is to play with what Kai sees in his eyes, and that's Monet to harder. She's also teaching something very similar to Drew when it comes to Gordo. She tells him make sure he's always got Gordo's ear, and not the Castillos. But where Drew was saying him and Gordo could actually be real, this was never gonna last, and Monet knew it. For Monet, it was all about power and control, and to get those two things, Gordo was unfortunately in the way, because she saw the twinkle in Drew's eyes, and she couldn't have any loose ends, especially the man who killed Lorenzo. As they came to visit Kai, this was very reminiscent of Season 1, except this time, Kane wasn't falling for Monet's manipulation. In Season 1, she said that she could always count on Kane, but Kane is someone who knows what 2 + 2 is.
Boom! 2 + 2 is 4!
He definitely knows that Monet had something to do with Lorenzo's death. But
Yo, that's facts. Monet went off on him the other episode. She's like, boy, you trying to put shit together about Lorenzo's death, but we already know when you add 2 + 2 up, yo, dumbass get 5. Bro, fuck. It's like, yo, Monet is like, I don't know, who's closer to the female ghost? If we had to Out of Tasha, Rock, and Monet, which one of y'all got is the female ghost? Y'all let me know in the comment section, because I mean, like, Monet, she really stepping it up this season. First season one, I mean, you know, she was a badass, but you know, season two, like, she was with the shit. But season three, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, she's a super villain. I mean, she's like the power version of Doctor Doom.
But he knows now's not the right time because he's thinking about family first, and so is Monet, but in her own devilish way because she knows she needed to do something to cover her tracks. In this conversation, we did get a sense of how Monet felt around Lorenzo. She felt when he was locked up, she was the one who held the business down, but when he came out, she was pushed aside, and after he kills Zeke, she's not exactly grieving his loss. But this is what Monet does. She plays on Kai's desires, and when he lets his guard...
Yo, I swear, my BM is like on some shit. I'm literally telling her, like, bro, like, I'll hit you up when I'm done. I'm recording right now. She's all like, can I come over? I'm like, bro, like, not right now. Give me some space. Like, bro, like, I've been out of the halfway house 2 fucking days, bro. 2 days. Because, like, when you're in the halfway house and shit, you get furlough time and whatnot. You get to go to work. You get, like, you know, your little outside time. So I was spending, like, all my time with her, basically. So, like, I finally got some fucking me time to do what the hell I want to do, what I love. And, like, she's all like, can I come over? And I'm like, I'm recording right now. Like, you know, I mean, yeah, I can't really hang with. She's like, oh, it's okay. Like, I'll just lay down. I'm like, bro, like, chill. God, bro, I gotta. And, like, because we're having a kid, like, fuck my personal life. Let's just focus on power.
his guard down, she tries to strike as we hear gunshots in the background, but it took Kane to come in and help take care of Kai. Now, Monet definitely had a few chess moves up her sleeve. The first was to take out Kai and deliver him to the Russians to squash their beef, and now the Russians and the Tejadas are no longer at war. But the other was to also set Kai...
I'm telling you, bro, like, I mean, that was savage as hell in itself. She delivered a head in a cooler
to take up for Lorenzo's death, but that's not all. She set it up in a way where Kai was working with someone to kill Lorenzo, and that someone who she texted was Gordo. Just when Drew seems like he finally got someone by his side, things took a dark turn. As they say, you ain't a real killer till you kill someone you love. So Drew messaged the person Kai was supposed to have been working with, and unfortunately for Gordo, his phone buzzed while he was in the shower, and this is when it dawned on Drew. Gordo was the one who killed Lorenzo, so he did what needed to be done.
in the heart.
In tears, Drew killed someone he loved, and this is gonna change him. I expect to see a more ruthless and savage Drew, a real mean streak that we've only seen in glimpses, but now it's game time. Now, when it comes to family in episode 7, there were a few major twists and turns, secrets and betrayals which I'm going to come to in just a moment, but one man who's actually stuck to his word is Kane.
Yeah, and one of y'all in the comment section, I mean, I would look it up right now, but it ain't that important, but what the fuck is a Ponzi scheme? Like, cause that sounds like some shit I hear on CNN. I don't actually know what the fuck that mean.
Hey, Cody Spur with a Clever Investor here. I got to keep my voice down because the ladies behind me are actually working live real estate investing deals right now that they're...
Yeah, bro, so you're doing a terrific job of keeping your goddamn voice down, nigga.
As Effie saw the camera on the roof, she messaged Kane, and he came good on his promise, although it wasn't good enough for Effie to pay for her tuition. But this is where Kane offers to help a lending hand.
I said no. I'm not going to be your little charity case. I'll figure something else out.
Now, even though Effie declines, this is where Kane made another move that was very similar to what Mecca did in Season 2. If you guys remember, Mecca paid Davis his fee to look after Zeke, and we saw Kane do that with Effie's tuition. Now, what it meant for Monet and Zeke in Season 2 was that they were completely reliant on Mecca, and
she texted that nigga, she said, fuck you. He's like, you're welcome. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like, you know, I would not be shook in episode 8 if I seen Kane in Effie's bed. I mean, like, goddamn.
Does the same now go for Effie? Law 11 from the 48 Laws of Power says learn to keep people dependent on you. So is Effie now dependent on Kane? Although we do have to say, as much as she refused the cash, she actually liked the gesture, and we may even actually see this relationship turn into a bit of romance. Now, from family being there for each other in the street game to family secrets with Western Holdings, I always maintained Kiki was someone who was always hiding something from Brayden. But it first started with...
Yeah, bro, and I mean, was any of y'all shocked to find out that Kiki was a fucking charlatan? I mean, like, yo, she was a fucking mole the whole time. Speaking of moles, I mean, what y'all think Sax, bro? Sax Day's gotta be numbered, bro. Now that Lauren done told Tariq, like, yo, Sax is in on this fucking Rico. Like, bro, like, if Davis don't kill Sax, y'all think that's possible? Anyway, fuck it. But Sax today's number, bro. I mean, he been here way too long. I thought Sax should have died in the original Power, but he's still here, working for Tariq. Like, I mean, like, what?
Started with her confronting Brayden about his and Tariq's business, but her reaction wasn't what he expected. She said it was pretty genius, but that's also because she has two faces herself.
A private floor. Supposedly there's more, but it's the only one I have the code for.
So this was a clue that was left in episode 2, that Western Holdings has more private floors. So as Brayden was trying to repair Crash Coin servers, he noticed someone coming out of a closet with bags of shredded paper. Now it's late at night, and Brayden thought, what's going on? So we saw an intrigued Brayden push into a secret passageway, and he finds a set of stairs and finds himself in one of those secret floors at Western Holdings, which holds a such shit ton of files, evidence that's being shredded, and books where numbers just don't seem to add up. He takes these books and tells Kiki that these books have 2 separate deposits and withdrawals, and the balance sheet don't add up. But when she tells him he's crazy, he takes it to Lucas, and this is where shit gets real.
I need that money back, and Tariq's trust fund too.
That's not how this works.
Tariq St. Patrick's trust has been moved to Western Holdings, and so is the Tejada's legit cash, as well as around $2 million.
Do y'all think the first body that Brayden catches is Uncle Lucas Weston? I mean, like it's like a reoccurring theme in Power. These niggas smoking on family packs and shit. Putting their own in the fucking dirt. That would really turn Brayden into a monster. Niggas be even myself. I didn't try to compare like Tariq and Tommy to Ghost and Brayden, but I don't know. Tariq is definitely living up to the Ghost name, kinda. But I mean, Brayden got a long way to go if you want to be Tommy. But I mean, if he killed Lucas, that would definitely be a good start. And Kane was like, nigga, you owe me a fucking body. So we gonna have to wait and see what happened with that. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What the fuck is we thinking?
$2 million, and I can't imagine it ending well for either Tariq St. Patrick, the Tejadas, or even Brayden himself. Imagine when Tariq finds out everything he'd been working towards is gone, taken by Lucas Weston. Not only will Lucas and Kiki catch a bullet, but Brayden will definitely owe them one, big time. And I really do get the feeling Brayden's gonna have to make a choice between his actual family and his street fam. Now with Salim Arshay fake Freeman, we finally get down to the bottom of who he is, but that was after the cringe poem and him trying to blackmail Diana, where he completely—
I told y'all, bro. I've been saying it to myself. I ain't really been able to tell y'all, I guess. But bro, Salim is a hack.
He changed his tune when Diana rejected him. He confronted her about fucking Tariq St. Patrick, someone who he called a piece of shit and a drug dealing murderer. But that's not all. He threatened her about how he knew she was moving weight through the candy shop, but that was the wrong move. In this conversation with Monet, she offered to come to Stansfield to deal with Salim, and Diana said she was just like Monet, so she'll deal with it, and she did.
Salim Arshay Freeman. That shit sounds made the fuck up. My brother.
Google definitely goes both ways, and
that nigga says, Salaikum salam, my brother.
Diana found out Salim Fake Freeman is actually Trevor Nelson, who was adopted by 2 rich parents, and so Diana got her way. But I still do have one question. Why did Salim change his name, and why is he exactly trying to hide his past?
That nigga Salim the type of nigga you see at a Donald Trump fundraiser.
Now over to the Rico and the events that led to Diana's arrest. We had Tariq talking to Lauren, with Tariq trying to gain Lauren's trust. She tells him that they're saying—
And can we also just still talk about how insane, just how brazy it is that Lauren is still breathing?
He's a killer and a monster, but he says he was made into one, which is rich coming from someone like Tariq St. Patrick, when Ghost gave him all the opportunities he never had or turned down when he was a kid. Now, Tariq knew he had to do something—
Holy shit, you guys. I mean, I would unpeel it, but I got stitches all up in here. That shit hurts!
To gain Lauren's trust back, but not before he made a phone call to Davis after he met Rashad Tate, where Tariq told Davis Sax either doesn't know about the Lauren case or he's lying. But it's clear from this conversation Tariq's still keeping his cards really close to his chest. He hasn't even told Davis about Lauren. Now,
which is a mistake.
To gain Lauren's trust, Tariq had to do something which I think will create a bit of a debate in the comment section. He had to record Effie confessing. He also told her that he wanted a picture of Nomar and her daughter so he could use it as leverage. But this conversation turns pretty nasty pretty quick. Effie tells him that she took care of Lauren to protect him, and I still have to agree with Effie, because if she didn't attempt to kill Lauren, then Lauren would have been his downfall, but Tariq didn't exactly thank her like Monet said he should have. He replied with, "She's damaged." Now, law enforcement were piecing the puzzle together with Junior.
I mean, like, yeah, Effie did that shit to protect Tariq, but I mean, like, that's what she says. We really got to question her motives. I think she was more just jealous that Tariq loved Lauren, but I mean, we can speculate about that all day. Y'all let me know in the comment section, but I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I do get it because Lauren was a snitch, but I don't even think Lauren was going to say nothing about Tariq. I think You know, I really think she was just going to like snitch on Kane, possibly Braden, but I really don't think she would have put Tariq in harm's way. I think that girl loved that nigga. Y'all gotta let me know if I'm flipping in the comment section or not.
Haz's son, who seems like he's joined the task force, and they put Rashad Tate's face right up next to Tariq St. Patrick, and they were connecting the dots from the Russians attacking Tariq's supply and Tariq using Tate to take out the Russians. But they had one problem. They couldn't connect the dots back to Tariq St. Patrick. They needed to figure out how he was moving his weight, and Blanca Rodriguez set her eyes on Western Holdings. Now, this was Junior who was digging around Western Holdings trash, who picked up one of the coffee cups which Braden and Tariq used to transport their drugs through No Cap All Frap. These came.
I mean, like, bro, like, hold up a second. Can we go back to that nigga
Who
real
picked up
quick?
one of the coffee cups which Braden and.
I mean, like, yo, this nigga, he's full on Halloween mode. Like, this nigga got on a fucking homeless man costume. What the shit? God damn. Like, I mean, hey, that nigga really looked like somebody I would give $1 to on the. Like, I mean, like, what the. Bro, I'm flabbergasted. Also, I want to know, because I was talking about this with my homie. Hey, do y'all fucking think that this season is better than season 2? Because, like, the mid-season finale, I mean, we all knew Lorenzo, you know what I'm saying? We knew he was going to heaven, bro, or he was going to the afterlife, because I don't know exactly if he went up or down, but, bro, like, I'm not sure, bro. Like, this season is kind of, excuse me. I'm definitely, like, I'm loving it. But compared to season 2, like, bro, like, season 2 had me on my toes. Like, bro, like, I literally, when the episode ended, like, I was thinking about that shit the entire week. I was like, holy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Up until the point Tariq got arrested, then things kind of slowed down a little. But, I mean, I don't know, man. This season, it's great, but it's not season. I think season 2 is a little bit better, but maybe I'm tripping.
Braden and Tariq used to transport their drugs through No Cap All Frap. These came back as the same match as what the Jamaica Ad Boys were selling, and also what they found on Stansfield rooftop, which means all 3 pipelines were connected. But that's not all. Effie was also caught on Stansfield's rooftop, and she'll be next in line after Diana.
In
now,
4K?
Conversation.
Look at that. Look at that. They got Effie in 4 fucking K. Nigga, that look like that look like a fucking a yearbook photo.
Caught on Stansfield's rooftop, and she'll be next in line after Diana. Now, what also came out of this conversation was that.
And then, Jenny Sullivan is a pack. Like, you know, now this is something I want to see. I'm not anticipating it because of his character, but yo, how dope would it be to see Sax put a bullet in Jenny Sullivan's forehead? Look at it, bro. Like, she got that fucking SpongeBob SquarePants type face. Like, bro, get out of here. Bro, look at that. Look at her face. She look like she's farting right now.
Was that Lauren was ready to testify, but Tariq wanted to play her the recording before she talks.
And then, I mean, I just can't cap. Like, bro, Lauren is just a pat. Let me stop. I don't want my girl watching these videos. But I'm just saying, y'all know, man, like, man, so Lauren ain't no 10? Lauren bad as fuck. Babe, don't get mad at me.
Now, Tariq knows that money talks, and working for law enforcement where people put their lives on the line.
Tariq pulled up on that nigga like he was at an auction. He was like, how much for that badge, nigga? I mean, like, bro, that nigga said, nigga, that's more than I make in a year. Can you take this laminated badge?
Every single day may not pay as handsomely as on the streets. So as he was able to cleverly get into the building where Lauren was, he played her the recording, and now she believes him. So she's gonna hold them off for as long as possible. But that's not all.
Sax is working with the feds.
Sax is a fucking mom.
Now, throughout episode 7, Davis continued to question Sax, and we even heard Sax telling Jenny, Davis seems to know something. But we did see Sax turning on Jenny, saying he'll burn her if he blindsides or lies to her again. Although Sax is someone who's on the right side of justice, he wants to do what those in power couldn't, including him, bring down a St. Patrick. Now, this is where shit starts to get complicated for Sax, especially now that Theo's released. In season 2, he said that he'd do anything to save Davis, and now that Sax has come.
Hey, also, I'm mad curious because, like, Theo was spazzing. Like, he's like, if you go down, then that means all that time I did was for nothing. I'm like, yeah, man, that's true, bro. But, man, appreciate your freedom. Man, I was in jail a month, and then I was in a halfway house, the facility, for another fucking month. And I mean, like, Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, like, having fresh air is like having a fucking $1 million, nigga. Like, I love my freedom. This nigga been talking like, yeah, bro, take me back to prison. Like, what?
This cover has been blown. I expect to see this next week.
Hey, also, like, man, I have never seen a nigga point a gun so civil at him. He looked like he got that gun in his throat, like, come here, governor. Like, I mean, like, god damn, like, Are y'all intimidated by this? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. And I don't like the recast. I mean, like they got this fucking Dollar Tree version of fucking Theo Rollins. I mean, what happened to Redman? Can somebody in the comment section let me know?
Now, I'm sure the Tejadas would love a peaceful family dinner for once, but this dinner table will look emptier as each season goes by. There's no Lorenzo Tejada, no Zeke Cross, and for the time being, no Diana. This episode ends with DA entering the Tejada household, and they surround the remaining Tejadas, and Jenny presents them with an arrest warrant for the one and only Diana Tejada.
I'm telling you, what the fuck? No exit movie plot? Thinking, damn, nigga, you got all that murder, mystery, suspense music. You ain't even tell us goodbye, nigga. The fuck? Is movie by Jamaican? Y'all gotta let me know that in the comment section. Somebody told me that. I was like, no way this nigga lives in Jamaica, bro. Like that, I thought movie bot was like British or some shit. But anyway, like I said, episode 7 was pretty decent. Episode 8 probably gonna be out of fucking control because we know in Power, especially book 2 season, like book 2 season 2 was out of control. That's the episode where they hit that fucking robbery on Mecca and all that shit. So I'm expecting episode 8 to be just brazy. I don't expect Diana to be in jail too long. I seen the episode 8 trailer, so she'll definitely be free. She ain't going out like Aaron Hernandez, but it's good shit. It's good shit. The writers over there, stars are 50 Cent. And all they don't fail, bro. They produce, but I'm still conflicted. Me and my homie was saying like is this shit good as season 2? Because season 2, like when they was on the hunt for the murderer of Jabari Reynolds, like bro, I was on my fucking toes, nigga. Like I almost jumped off a building. Like that shit was wild. But I'm just happy as fuck to be back. I'm extra as hell right now. I'm low key like my BM is getting on my fucking nerves. But I'm here. I'm here. The internet junkie is back, and I will definitely catch y'all in the next one. Love y'all. Peace. Oh, also, I forgot his name was like No Clip something, but that nigga who fucking like was doing like the predictions for this episode. I wish I could find that nigga on here. He's like the That's So Raven of the power content reviewers. Like, I mean, that nigga, he must have seen the future or some shit. But y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.